News Panorama is a TV news magazine program that gives you the story behind the story.
It tells the stories the way they should be told by capturing the larger scale.
It deals with people's deep feelings on issues that, when brought to the fore, ultimately educates, informs, and entertains.
News Panorama. Capture the larger scale.
Congratulations, Nigerians, as we celebrate 24 years of uninterrupted democracy in our country. While waiting for the commemoration of Democracy Day on June 12, it is very important to note that the military handed over power back to the civilian government in 1999, which ushered in Nigeria's Fourth Republic. However, this week is remarkable as it features many great events: Best of Our Choice, the Children's Day celebration, and the Democracy Day. On the other hand, the World Marketers Day on the 27th of May. On the program today, we'll be looking at the people's opinion on infrastructural and socio-economic development of His Excellency Prince Basidere II's led administration, Children's Day celebration, inauguration of oxygen plant by the Cross River State government, the preservation of ecosystem, and on the spot with Barrister Akbaye Penyong, the special advisor to the Governor of Cross River State on general duties. Welcome and thanks for joining me on the program News Panorama. I am Josephine Efanga.
News Panorama. Capture the larger scale.
If you have just tuned in, you are watching News Panorama. Chairs fill the air as Cross River State celebrates a remarkable milestone, the first anniversary of our esteemed Governor, Senator Prince Basidere II. Ifeanyi Ekpeta takes us on the journey of reflection and celebration, honoring the achievements and strides made during this inaugural year. Amidst the festivities, we delve into the transformative initiative, the newfound hope infused into governance, and the promising path charted for the future of our beloved state. Under the leadership of Governor Basidere II, the report.
Just 1 year into Governor Basidere II's administration, a lot seems to be going on in the state. The Governor II's administration can be said to focus on several key areas, including economic development, infrastructure, education, healthcare, and security. Governor II has prioritized economic development as a cornerstone of his administration. He has initiated several programs aimed at boosting local industries, attracting foreign investment, and creating job opportunities. Another area of key focus in his administration has been infrastructural development aimed at rehabilitation and repairs of roads, electricity, housing, culverts, amongst others. The educational sector, health sector, environment, security, and social welfare have not been left out, as well as major projects have been carried out to promote and sustain each areas. Speaking in an interview, a cross-section of Cross Riverians commended the efforts of the government in 1 year, pointing out its achievements so far.
With what is happening, I would say that there's improvement in this road. Though they started this road, but they have not completed it. Though the road is better than the way it was before, 100%. Now we are seeing a governor that is working. The previous government, they used to say they are working, and this government is working. I'm nobody saying anything about them. But to me, this government is 100%.
For His Excellency Senator Prince Basidere II's 1 year in office, we in the Calabar metropolis, we've experienced a lot of turnaround, a lot of milestone projects. Thank you, His Excellency. Thank you, my governor. Please do more. We are solidly behind you. We support.
We appreciate our God because He has been us a good governor and our good senator. He has done so much. If to say in the past that we have this kind of a governor and a senator, by now would have our state would have turned to the USA. So I really thank God for this present governor and the present senator.
According to them, in his first year in office, Governor Basidere II has made notable strides in various sectors, laying a solid foundation for the development of Cross River State.
If there's any word above excellent, I think he deserves it, because I have seen so many works that he has done, not just around the premises of this depot. Before his regime, this place is more like a mess. You see dustbin everywhere. But ever since they started this work, as I can tell you, this place is not as the way it used to be.
I have never seen new development like this time around. I now believe
Sweet Prince Otu is a good leader. Almost 16 years we are here, nothing like road. Sometimes if you enter boat, they refuse to come down there. Based on this work, I believe at any time you want to enter motor from Marian to come here, they will bring you successful, they will not drag in, which is, we really appreciate Sweet Prince Otu.
Many government have been coming here, look after the work, promising us that they will do, but they refuse to do. For the development of Prince Otu, with the effort of Prince Otu, you can see everything moving smoothly. We see the environment that was rejected for past years being renovated. We see Sweetan was just like a new Canaan city as a whole. Very nice. We appreciate the government.
While there are significant challenges to overcome, the administration's efforts in economic development, infrastructure, education, healthcare, security, social welfare and environmental sustainability have started to yield positive results. For CRBC News Panorama, Ifeanyi reporting.
For every Nigerian child, 27 May is a lookout for, and as it basks in the euphoria of excitement, the concern for many is what the future holds for the Nigerian child. In this report, the children speak on what they wish it should be. The report. Enhancing the total well-being of the Nigerian child through quality education and skill development is the 2024 theme for the Children's Day celebration. Practically, the total well-being of the Nigerian child should include education, security, consistency, love, stability, emotional support, positive role models and structure. Children's Day, which is globally observed occasion, holds significant importance in acknowledging the pivotal role of children in the society. Beyond the surface of festivities and merriment, it serves as an important reminder to center celebrations around children, around meeting the multifaceted needs of children. At the core of Children's Day lies the imperative to hold and promote children's rights. This entails nurturing children's physical, emotional, social and cognitive growth. By addressing children's needs comprehensively, we empower them to flourish and realize their fullest potential, laying a robust foundation for their future. Speaking in an interview, some school children listed out equipping schools with modern facilities, acceptance from the society and families, amongst others, as their major need.
As a girl child, I would like the government to pay more focus on us because some people think that girl children don't need education like the boy child. So I would like them to pay more focus on the girl child, not exempting the boy child.
I believe the government should equalize or emphasize on equity between both genders, both male and female gender, not discriminating any students based on their gender.
I want the school to instill in us all the good morals that we will use in future, like in achieving our personal goal, what we will use in assisting ourselves in future. From the government, I want the government to help us in building a strong foundation where we can lay our rest and also give us chance to prove ourselves as the good citizens and responsible citizens.
I would like the government to equip our library, the government technical college.
They also expressed their gratitude for the day, as it is a day here they are celebrated, and asked that they be cheered and supported in order to reach their potentials.
We are all happy as children to be honored worldwide. As children, we are so excited once again. We also want to see that our inquiries from the government, we just need to be facilitated.
We are here for the Children's Day March Past and to also participate in other events.
Today is the Children's Day. I say happy Children's Day.
Our environment there is not conducive for education. I don't know how I'm gonna reach the governor, but I think by the help of the camera, I'm gonna hear what I'm saying. And the next one is what I want my parents to do for me. If you take me to a higher institution in life, I don't want to end up in secondary school as others do. So I feel pity for them.
Also speaking on the need and essence of the Children's Day, some teachers called on the government to pay more attention to the children as they are the future leaders of tomorrow.
Come to celebrate the Children's Day on the 27th of May. I believe that there is a future for every child. I believe one thing in life is that there's always hope. So irrespective of how the nation is right now, we want to hold on to that. Change is constant.
The main purpose for this celebration is to celebrate the children. That is the main purpose, to celebrate the children. And also the government need to use this opportunity to know the needs and the challenges of the children, more especially children in a rural area. Because the basic thing that they need to look at is their basic need, the food, shelter and clothing.
We want them to feel that at least that we love them. The future of this country, the future of the parents, and tomorrow they will all grow up to take, up their position as governors, as senators, as president of the country.
The children are a gift from God, and God has given us these children in order that we train them in the way that will give Him glory. So as students, they are supposed to listen to their instructors so that the future will be better for them.
Celebrating Children's Day with a focus on meeting their needs is essential for their well-being and development. By recognizing their rights, promoting inclusivity, and prioritizing safety and holistic growth, we can ensure that Children's Day celebrations are meaningful and impactful, laying the foundation for a brighter future for all the children. For CRBC News Panorama, Josephine Efanga reporting. Cross River State has received a boost to its healthcare services as it takes delivery of an oxygen gas plant donated by the government of Canada, IHS Nigeria, through partnership with the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF. The oxygen gas plant, commissioned by the state governor, Senator Basidero II, represented by his deputy, Right Honorable Peter Odis, is situated at the State General Hospital, Mary Slazor Road, Calabar. Collins John brings details the report.
The new oxygen generation plant is designed to provide consistent and adequate supply of oxygen that is needed for patients with respiratory issues, post-surgical patients, those in intensive care units, as well as patients who need supplemental oxygen. The plant is also to help hospitals in the state to reduce dependency on external oxygen suppliers and cost efficiency. The handing over note was received by the Governor, Senator Basi Oto, represented by his deputy, Right Honorable Peter Ode, who identified medical oxygen as an essential commodity in medical routine and application, assuring that the state government will complement the achievement to ensure sustainability of medical oxygen across the state.
And it's going to remain as clean, as nice as we are seeing it here. We hope and we believe that this thing is going to save life. It's going to save the life of Cross Riverians, and I'm happy to know that another plant is being developed in Goja, like I've been told. You'll be surprised to know how many people died during the COVID era because of lack of oxygen. You'll also be surprised to know how many people still die in Nigeria because of oxygen. That has been difficult. So I encourage everyone who need medical oxygen to please approach this facility and get one. Not again in any hospital, both government and private hospital and Cross River State stay without oxygen because we have it here now. So I want to thank UNICEF, I want to thank our partner, and I want to thank very specially the hard-working Commissioner of Cross River State who is working tirelessly to ensure that Cross River State Health Facility will move to the first-class health facilities like we have in other places in the world.
Speaking earlier, before the commissioning, the UNICEF representative, Ms. Christiane Mandret, said the project underscores the commitment to improving the health and well-being of Nigerians through robust healthcare infrastructure. Ms. Mandret, represented by the Chief of UNICEF Enugu, Juliet Chilowe, added that the oxygen generation plants will ensure a continuous and reliable supply of life-saving oxygen, essential for the treatment of most vulnerable people, particularly children.
UNICEF partnership with Cross River State Government to strengthen its medical oxygen system began in 2022 with a statewide assessment of oxygen-related needs. Since then, more than 250 health workers across all the 3 tiers, as well as biomedical engineers and technicians have been trained. As you put this facility to use, I'm confident It will greatly enhance the quality of life of the people of this state.
The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Henry Ayuk Egbe, acknowledged the lucrative value of the oxygen generation plant, saying that availability of oxygen in hospital is one criteria for assessing the standard and efficiency of health systems. He commended the donors for training the personnel that will man the facility, adding that another plant of same magnitude will also be commissioned for use at the General Hospital, Ogoja.
An essential tool for assessing health systems now. If they want to say you are doing very well in health system delivery, they will come and find out whether you have oxygen. So we want to be very, very grateful to UNICEF for the strategic partnership they have got and continue to exist and implement in Cross River State, not only for oxygen, but across board. Immunization, every other thing, they're there.
Collins John, CRBC News Panorama.
In many rural communities, livelihood and socio-economic well-being are intricately linked with their natural environment. Local communities located in and around forest ecosystem rely mostly on biodiversity and natural resources. Often their reliance on biodiversity is done in an unsustainable fashion, reason why UNESCO took training to some affected communities, the report.
At a 2-day workshop in Oban Biosphere Reserve, Cross River National Park, Oban Akampa, the head of UNESCO Nigeria, Dr. Beheruami Dailo, said the project is aimed at poverty reduction, biodiversity conservation, and sustainable development in Nigeria. She maintained that local communities are located around forest systems who rely mostly on the biodiversity and natural resources for their livelihood need to be provided with an alternative means of livelihood to reduce activities that threaten the existence of the eco-biodiversity. Represented by Dr. Enam Moma, the head of UNESCO Nigeria, emphasized that the aim of the project is to improve livelihood of local communities, contribute to wealth and job creation, and support biodiversity conservation in urban and Omo biosphere reserves, as well as Share Hills Forest Reserve, through the establishment of green biodiversity business and green economy activities with focus on youth and women.
We do not want to see people destroy the forest. But then again, we want to see people make money and also eat and also stay in peace, especially the young people and also the women. We came up with this biodiversity business project that we're implementing in Urban Biosphere Reserve, in Omo Biosphere Reserve, and in Sherry Hills Forest. This project will benefit the communities.
Representing the Conservator General, National Park Service, Ibrahim Musa, the Assistant Conservator General Mohammed Kabir, noted that the project is aimed at impacting 12 communities in Urban Akampa, which is why the successful implementation of the project relies on the community themselves. The State Commissioners for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Abubakar Iwa, Livestock and Fishery, Ntufam Emmanuel Anon, Science and Technology, Justin Bishel, and Commissioner for International Donor, Dr. Oga Lupata, commended UNESCO for a great partnership and disclosed that it will foster the ecotourism of the state and will change the lifestyle of the state financially.
Having UNESCO in Cross River State as development partners, it is heartwarming. The essence of having this entire forest conserved, it is for us a very important thing we need to take home and in fact to cherish it and also to protect it. And so conserving this forest goes a long way to help not just we who live within the urban community, but by extension the entire Cross River State.
UNESCO is a very great partner in terms of community development. As a ministry, the agenda of UNESCO is a marriage with His Excellency policy of People's First mantra. Any project that is community driven is a project that will change the lives of the people. The intervention here today is not just for the communities, it is also for the Cross River National Park that has been able to maintain the forest to allow for this project to start. This project is a project that will also change the lifestyle, making the communities and the beneficiaries financially independent.
As a Ministry of Science and Technology,
I am happy that this is coming to Cross River State. What ordinarily we should be craving for, they are coming to pay Cross River. We have alternative sources of income we want to give to you to help you preserve your own forests. I implore you to key into this innovative agenda of UNESCO. I implore you to key into the agenda of His Excellency Prince Basi Edekotu to ensure that all that we are doing here is sustained.
The workshop was flagged off by the Deputy Governor of Cross River State, Honorable Peter Odi. Idong Selesien, CRBC News.
Welcome to another episode of On the Spot on News Panorama. On this episode, we'll be speaking with Akaba Ekpenyong. He's the special advisor to the governor on general duty. He will be x-raying all the achievements of Governor Basi Edekotu in this 1 year in office. Welcome to On the Spot on News Panorama, Barrister Akaba Ekpenyong.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to have you.
Can you tell us where we were and where we are now in this just short period of 1 year in Governor Basi Edekotu's tenure in office?
Let me start by, first of all, thanking God Almighty for giving us perseverance, Senator Prince Basi Edekotu, as our governor, because it is indeed a gift from God. And let me also state very clearly that in Cross River State, the governor has said several times that it is God that is on the throne. He is only a messenger who is carrying on the directive of the Almighty God. And we are also seeing very evidently his actions that are people-oriented, that are people-friendly, that are also service to humanity in all sense of the word, putting to rest truly that the state is being managed by the Almighty God. For me, I sit here very proud and very satisfied with the journey so far of His Excellency, because His Excellency have been able to very effectively, within a very short time, deliver on his campaign promises. Don't forget, as governor of Cross River State, when he came on board, he had promised that he will sustain all the gains of democracy, democratic gains, and delivery of democratic dividends to the people of Cross River. And you will agree with me that in line with that campaign promise, there have been massive fulfillment, there have been massive interventions, there have been massive implementation of his agenda. Is it about infrastructure? Is it about agriculture? Is it about education? Is it about security? Is it about power? Is it about sports? Is it about environment? Name it. Is it about youth empowerment? Is it about women emancipation? For me, the governor have been able to cover the field. The governor have been able to impact positively in all sectors. Our tourism have been given appropriate attention. So for me, on a scorecard, I would say that the governor have delivered excellently. The governor have been able to reclaim Cross River State, to restore Cross River State, and also to rehabilitate abandoned and our environment today. Abandoned infrastructure have been innovated, and our environment today is clean and green. There have been a lot of new injections everywhere. We now have Operation Zero Potholes have been delivered more than 70%, and our drainages have been given adequate attention in terms of environmental sanitation, in terms of refuse evacuation, in terms of street lighting, in terms of traffic lights, in terms of even our bus stops, in terms of roundabouts. The city center is now indeed a paradise. For me, His Excellency have been able to make we Cross Riverians, both those that are with him in government and those that are not with him in government, to be proud of themselves as Cross Riverians. So this 1 year is a satisfactory 1 year in office of His Excellency, and this will now also be complete without the complementing the efforts of Her Excellency, whom have indeed showcased herself as a mother, because child rights have been given due attentions, and they've also been enormous medical interventions. They've also been enormous empowerment programs. There've been a lot of women mobilization and women enhancement. There've been a lot of support by way of payment of medical bills to the aged. So for me, Cross River State is heading on the path of progress. Cross River State have been able to launch back itself to the map of the nation, the center of the map of the nation. So we are happy with the governor, and we can only continually pray for the governor to continue to enjoy God's love, God's speed, because with Prince Otu, a more prosperous Cross River State is guaranteed.
Okay, so looking at the streets of Calabar Metropolis, we've witnessed so many transformation. Like you said earlier, we've seen road transformation. Then looking at some key runabouts, we've seen renovation going on. And the question in the minds of Cross Riverians is, why are some of these runabouts being changed? Because a lot of people raise eyebrow on like what that of Calabar Arbor, that they wonder what the government wants to do, because even when they were changing the one of 1111, people were wondering, but when it came out, Cross Riverians were marveled with what came out of it. So why are we changing the face of Cross River State? And can you highlight some of these roads, infrastructure, and the areas where Governor has done so well and he has renovated or reconstructed these roads?
I think it is commonsensical in the course of building. We have to also be patient. Even when you're farming, you don't harvest immediately after you plant. It goes through a process. And the state of Cross River State, as it were and as it is, there is a lot of difference. And in achieving results, a lot of things will have to go down so as to create space for new things to come up in line with present day realities. The runabouts in the states are many, and we're taking them gradual. We have lost certain effigies. For instance, 1111 had House the Gong. There is no more there. And the governor, in his wisdom and vision, came up with the Bible. And don't forget that religion, Christianity in particular, bettered here when we had the then missionaries. When you talk about Scottish missionaries, when you talk about Church of Scotland, when you talk about Christianity as a whole, you cannot exempt Calabar. Calabar is a cradle of Christianity. When you talk about a cradle of civilization, that even bettered Christianity. Well, we had a lot of missionaries, Mary Slazor, Master Ton Wardell, and many others. And it is not out of place for us to maintain or revalidate or continue to immortalize our history, which has to do with Christianity. When His Excellency came out with that option of the Bible, it was returning us back to what really gave Cross River State a definition, what gave Calabar the attention. When you talk about football starting from Calabar, it was because the missions were here. We were first in even the Nigerian police. When you talk about police headquarters, we are first in all sense of the word. When you talk about the first Supreme Court, it started in Calabar. So we have been first. We're first capital of Nigeria. So we're also first in terms of getting in touch with the what we call the missionaries and the whites. So these developments are also trying to take us back to our history, take us back to our foundation. And it is important that, having had a lot of setbacks, roadblocks, difficulties, ill lucks as a state, it is pertinent that we return the state to God. It is pertinent that we also deliver our land to the God that gave us the land, which is the Almighty God. So our tourism potentials are sustained, will continue to be sustained. When you talk about the Calabar boy effigy that was there, or we had the monoliths, monoliths, as it were, had obstructed traffic. If you know how critical that roundabout is, we have luxurious vehicles that are going into the depot, and road users who do not obey traffic most times use one way. There have been series of accidents on record. Lives have been lost, occasioned by that positioning of monoliths, which also block a lot of view in terms of traffic. And the governor have also constructed that road today. If you go there, it's a two-lane road, well constructed, and is accessing the Redeem Avenue. And it has opened up the area, and it's also boosting business because there's a lot of business activities going on there. So it was time to take the monoliths down. One, for proper beautification, and two, for to ease traffic, to also enhance proper view. Three, to also develop the roundabout in line with the present day reality, because that roundabout have been there for about 3 decades, and it's high time we also reconstruct it, review the land space that was there. If you go there today, what we have there is solid, and it is also enjoying a lot of commendation. And that is not the only roundabout. You go to Calabar, you go to Rabana, you go to Raw Rock, and several others. You can also agree with me that Destination Cross River was tempered with. Welcome to Calabar was tempered with. Almost every junction is wearing new look because the governor knows too well that the way you position yourself as a state is the way others will perceive your state. The governor is also doing a lot of office renovations. The governor's office, deputy governor's office, the government lodges at different points. Even the security agencies are enjoying at this level of office renovations. We've been to the DSS, you go to the road safety, you go to the civil defense, Mopol 11, the team brigade, the Air Force, everywhere in terms of our security commands have been given prompt attention. The fire service is also enjoying renovation, despite the fact that most of those facilities are federal government facilities. But the governor believes that it's high time the season of sweetness is spread around. So I believe that by the time most of these foundational actions are completed, people will appreciate uh, the main intention of His Excellency, which is to reposition the state for greater opportunities.
Okay, sir, so for the infrastructural projects, it's very, very visible. Can you tell us some of the efforts made by the governor in terms of education and health, which a lot of people have complained that that is not visible compared to that of infrastructure? Can you highlight some of the achievements of Governor Bassey in terms of education and healthcare system?
What is in the public domain? The governor had paid fees for WAEC students. I want to believe that our educational advancement, which is a liberation from poverty and hardship, begins from that level of educational opportunity, the primary and secondary level. And a lot of public schools are undergoing massive renovations, classroom blocks. High Excellency also is doing a lot of boreholes in those schools. And we're also engaging in skills acquisition through the Ministry of Youth. We had a lot of partnership, for instance, with Skyron International, a Chinese company in the States. Are training our young people in different skills, electrical electronics. The governor had, in line with the palliative in the state, had declared from age 60 and above free medical care.
Okay.
The governor had also, we have a 0 to 5 in our hospitals. They also enjoy free medical care. The governor, through the Ministry of Health, have had a lot of medical outreaches. Like I said, one of the pet projects of excellency is in the area of Medicare. There have been a lot of surgical interventions in millions. His Excellency most times don't want to blow his trumpet, likewise Her Excellency. So in the area of health, there have been a lot of interventions, particularly in the primary health sector, which is mostly people, the rural people, highest demands. And there's been a lot of profiling for scholarships at the level of the tertiary. There's been a lot of student engagement. We have a lot of student leaders, former student office holders in this government as a sign of governor's interest in students. This is the first time we have the number we have today in government directly who are past student leaders. So when you talk about education, the governor has placed a lot of priority in education. First, by ensuring that the existing public schools are given attention. Second, by payment of WAEC fees, like I mentioned earlier, and also positioning former student leaders who will be able to gather the sentiments and concerns of their colleagues and present to government. So for me, these are all foundational efforts, which in the next 2 years, moving forward, the results will begin to trickle out.
Okay, sir. So in some time past, Cross River State was known as number one in terms of sports. We had the likes of Bassi. We had some people from Bayside who actually represented Cross River State in both table tennis, relay, and every other sport. Over the years, it's dilapidated, and now we are not being heard. What are the government efforts to ensure that Cross River State in no time will be placed again on top in terms of sports?
The efforts are very visible. As soon as the governor came on board, our international stadium was given a facelift. A mere passing through the stadium, you see that the facility has been fully given attention, and some of the areas are still undergoing attention. And the Rovers, having faced a lot of challenges, have been having a one-on-one with the governor for the first time. Even their subvention was increased. The Commissioner for Sports have been involved in several events nationwide. We've been hosting competitions after a long time. We had the preliminary games, the zonal preliminary games, in terms of festival hosted here in the state. We done this 1 year. We even had the MTN champs. They came here. So in Cross River State, within this short period, there have been a lot of laurels won already in competitions because of the governor's attention to the welfare of sporters, the welfare of athletes. So for me, there is a lot of commitment and interest in sports. There's been a lot of competitions. His Excellency, even during his 100 days in office, during Her Excellency's birthday, we've had different ceremonies that the state had to organize. Sport was also included, and where even market women were given opportunities to begin to play football. So for me, the governor had also organized within this period the Governor's Cup, where laurels were won across the 18 local governments. Talents were identified. And from the Rovers, our goalkeeper was even taken to the national level, and he just concluded under 17. So for me, there's been a lot of foundational actions. Governor had a lot of communication with some investors who are coming to do some academies in the state. So in the shortest possible time, and not too distant from now, most of these very strong foundations will begin to yield results, where we'll begin to produce all kinds of stars as we used to do. Pelican stars have also been given attention. So it's a building process. It's a process that requires a little bit of patience that will now metamorphose into what will be beneficial. Because through sports, Excellency have said that we'll be able to empower our youth without stress. Through sport, we can be able to have people have a sustainable living and become millionaires. And he's conscious of all this and is giving those areas due attention.
Okay, finally, sir, what would be your rating of Governor Basile II in just 1 year in office?
I had said earlier in one word, satisfactory. I've also said that the governor will live up to, not just living up to expectation. I said it's somewhere that live beyond expectation, putting side by side our living resources, putting side by side the condition that he met the state, because the ground was such that he could not hit the ground running. He needed to make the ground stable. But within this 1 year, I will rate His Excellency very high. In terms of 100%, I'll score him 85%. 85% because I don't want to be unfair to my judgment. Even though I would have said that His Excellency is a magician. His Excellency have done a lot of things that many are calling him a master strategist, because His Excellency have been everywhere. And even in terms of the national space, Cross River State today is amongst the first three. In terms of bringing young people to power, creating opportunities for young people, he's the only governor that appointed more than 60% of his cabinet to be young people. I challenge other governors to come out with their records. And the young people are occupying prominent positions in his cabinet. And he has given the young people opportunity to deliver on their responsibilities. So this 1 year, I must say that His Excellency have made us proud. This 1 year, His Excellency have been able to reposition Cross River. This 1 year, Cross River State is completely different, to the point that even the opposition that were there in the state have decided to be his followers. Today, Cross River State is one big family where all have agreed that the governor is on board to deliver the people first mantra and service to humanity in line with what he believes in. So, congratulations, Your Excellency, on your 1 year in office. May God continue to guide you through, give you strength, in good health, so that you take Cross River State to the destination which God had already kept for us.
Thank you very much, Barrister Kubai for coming on the program News Panorama. Over now to our presenter. That is all we have on our lineup this week. We hope to be back same time next week. Do keep a date with us. I am Josephine Efanga.